Hello and welcome to Mindful Living, where we explore the art of living with the intention, balance, and inner peace. I am Avik, your host, guiding you through conversations on health, meditation, mental well being, mindfulness, and the mind body connection. Each episode features expert insights to help you grow, heal, and thrive. So, take a deep breath, relax, and join us on this journey to a more mindful and fulfilling life. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to another episode on the Mindful Living podcast, where we explore the intersection of mindfulness, personal growth, and today, entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Sana, and today's guest is an extraordinary entrepreneur who has successfully combined the fast paced world of Web3 and AI with a deep spiritual foundation. Meet Eric McHugh. Eric is the president of ShopX, a Web3 powered e commerce platform, and the co founder and chief growth officer of Dataing, an AI powered matchmaking service aiming to match 1 billion happy couples. Eric's journey is unique. He has founded a VC backed SaaS platform, worked at Snap, and consulted for Fortune 500 companies, all while maintaining a strong commitment to meditation and spiritual growth. He recently completed a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, and his personal mantra, as above, so below, as within, so without, reflect his belief in the power of energy, frequency, and vibration in shaping reality. And today on the Mindful Living podcast, we'll dive into how Eric combines his spiritual practices with entrepreneurship, creating a mindful approach to success in the digital age. So, Eric, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor having you with us today.
Hi, Sana. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful to be here and excited for this conversation.
Lovely. So, why don't you share a bit about your personal journey with all of our listeners?
Sure, it's nice to meet everyone. My name is Eric. I'm 30 years old, blessed to be living in beautiful Southern California. My main hobbies are chess, Muay Thai, meditation, and and reading. In terms of career, I studied at university in Los Angeles.
Mhm.
My first job out of college was at Snap Inc., helping craft their ad algorithm. The reason I chose that was because I wanted to be around a company right before IPO to be around that energy, to see what it was like. And the
Mhm.
location was really nice too. It was right next to the beach. It was right next to nature. After that, I joined as a bankruptcy consultant, which helps Fortune 500 companies go through the bankruptcy process. That
Mhm.
was cool. The firm was nice. You learned a lot, but the only issue was I was really deep diving into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and
Mhm.
the ethos of that didn't align with the ethos of bankruptcy consultant. So I quit that job, started going to local cryptocurrency meetups in my local area, met the original ShopX team. We've been building that ever since.
Mhm.
And while we were building that, we were ideating a problem on the whiteboard. Turns out that problem had to deal with affiliate marketing. So that turned out to be another area of opportunity where we can build another company, which is called CartRev or Paul. It had
Mhm.
a couple of name changes, and that eventually got VC funded in one of the top incubators in the world. For your listeners, an incubator is essentially startup school. So it's like
Mhm.
small teams in a small area, just working collaboratively to work together with founders in different like levels of startup and different fields. So during that incubator, I was very fortunate to be around some very smart people. So I picked their brain, and a lot of them told me what worked for them, what hadn't worked for them. So I was able to learn a lot. A while back, I was on a cryptocurrency specific podcast tour. I went on this one cryptocurrency podcast called The Crypto Economy. It's run by this guy named Mark. After the podcast, we stayed in touch. We
Mhm.
became friends, and then this AI looking at things started following me. I'm like, oh, what is this? It's like, oh, this is this is Mark. I'm thinking about starting this AI powered matchmaking service. I'm like, oh, that's funny. It's a good idea. It can help people. So ever since then, I've been building both simultaneously. My logic behind building both those is I think everyone's happiest when they're serving other people. And I think people have their individual gifts. So I think the creator blessed me with individual gifts. So if you try to be me, you can't beat me at being me. But if on the flip side, if I try to be you, I can't beat you at being you. So if I'm happy serving other people, the best way to do that is to follow your individual gifts because that's what you're actually good at. That's what you're here for. And that just happened to result in two specific companies, dating, AI-powered matchmaking, and ShopX Web3 e-commerce.
Very, very interesting journey, Eric. And thank you so much for sharing with our listeners. So, how has your spiritual foundation influenced your approach to entrepreneurship? How do these two worlds meet, particularly in industries like Web3 and AI that are constantly evolving?
Yeah, so the cool thing about the spirituality is it forms a very productive base. So I believe in karma. So I think if you make money in a bad way, that comes back to bite you. And if you make money in a good way, it comes back in a good way. So with these particular two companies, one's a Web3 e-commerce platform with a very large community of like over 10,000 people. The other dating is a powered matchmaking service that's reliant on the users for the company's success. So if the intention for both companies are good, then the users either pick up on that subconsciously or consciously, and then they're more likely to support either project, which is something we're very grateful for. And on top of that, I also see everything in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So like when you're saying you're sad, when you're saying you're happy, when you're saying you're loving, you're essentially just saying I'm vibrating at this specific frequency. So just like a radio station, if you tune to a specific radio station, you get that station. So like that's why angry people always attract angry people because they're on the angry frequency. That's why sad people always attract sad people because they're on that frequency. So if you operate with a higher frequency, like of love, of trying to help people and all that good stuff, then you're going to attract people in your life who are also on that frequency. And from a business standpoint, that just brings the right people in your life at the right times. Like you can imagine going into a networking event, like with VCs or investors, and your goal is like, oh, let's see how much we can get out of the other person. You're going to attract people with that sort of mindset, and that business is unlikely to succeed. But if you go there just trying to meet someone and trying to help people, then you're going to attract people who are also trying to help people. And it turns out that's a much better way to start a business relationship. And honestly, that's been the most fruitful. Those type of relationships have been both the most fruitful too. And a lot of them have shared. And I've noticed that a lot of people do have a spiritual practice, like in that incubator I was mentioning. So like as I was networking my way through that, I've noticed that all the higher performing people all had some sort of spiritual practice. I'm like, oh, you should try this, you should try meditation, you should try walking, you should try all that. So that's kind of planted the seeds in my mind. So I'm like, oh, if these people can do it, so can I.
Lovely. That's lovely. And you recently returned from a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat. So how has this experience impacted your decision making and clarity in both your personal life and business ventures also?
Yes, I may need to update a bit since it's probably exactly a year ago. So I need to update my description on that. But it's also been it's helped add to the base of my decision making. So now most of my decisions are out of abundance versus fear, which just attracts more abundance. So that just helps both companies succeed. It's also what kind of cemented my daily meditation practice that I have on a daily basis. So I wake up every day at 4:20 because I find that funny. Then I meditate for a bit. I either do like guided meditation or binaural beats or a Vipassana meditation. And then I use that to set the intention for the day. And if you believe in quantum physics, where there's an infinite number of realities that are happening, and the one that's you're experiencing is just simply the one you're paying attention to. So that aligns my day for success. So I go on my meditation. I'm like, oh, we're going to help some people. The calls are going to go well. The customer service is going to go well. The tech development is going to go well. And it turns out when you think that way, that's just putting out abundance into the universe, and things usually go well. So Vipassana has been the base for that. No, it was really cool too. Like, because if you're from India, it's from there. So like, I'm sure you have a much better idea than I do, but it helped me get rid of all the extra baggage I've been carrying around through my whole life. And that helps you creates an environment where you can make calm decisions. And I think in the decision-making process, being calm is the most important thing. And then startup specifically, if you make a decision that's incorrect, you're going to spend some time on that decision, and capital and time is very limited in the startup. So you're just wasting your own time. Whereas if you can take a step back, maybe meditate for a bit, then make the decision, you're likely to make the right move. Because to be successful in a startup, it's pretty much just like optimization and adapting over and over again. So like in every moment, there's the best move. I could have made the best move. It's just like chess. Like I could have made the best move in the world last move. I could have made the worst move in the world last move. Well, what do I do right now? It's I have to make the best move in this present situation. And having a meditative base and a calm mindset really helps with that.
And you love playing chess.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like it's that came up from, so I was being conscious of like my social media. So I'm 31, so I've been kind of trained to be addicted to social media. So I took a tally of like, okay, let's go on Instagram and let's go on Reels and let's see how much value this adds to my life. It turns out it was just introducing a bunch of negativity.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like it was just introducing a bunch of negativity. So what I did was I put chess.com right next to my Instagram and Twitter app because I still need them for the companies. But so whenever I have the urge to go on either of those apps, I see chess and I just bring out a couple games. So it was a good way to turn a negative into a positive.
So, as someone who is involved in multiple businesses, Eric, how do you balance the demands of entrepreneurship with mindfulness practices, like meditation or self-reflection?
Yeah, so in terms of how you balance, I think work life they just kind of intertwine into one. So you really just have to make the decision to prioritize meditative and self-reflective practices. Like if I want to meditate during the day, I'll just simply take out time to meditate during the day and no one will have any issues with it. So it's really just it's a bit basic, but it really is just a decision. Like, oh, I've decided to prioritize this in my life because it adds tremendous amount of value. And in reality, it does help both like prioritizing meditation and for that matter, like physical health, physical and mental health is good for the businesses anyway. So it's a win-win-win.
Great. So you have mentioned you follow by this quote, Tesla's quote about energy, frequency, and vibration. So how do you apply these concepts to your work? And how can entrepreneurs benefit from understanding these principles? That's really very interesting.
Yeah, so in terms of energy, frequency, vibration, again, like it's all about that vibrational scale. So if you check out David R. Hawkins' work, there's a scale of 0 to 1,000, and each emotion is a different scale. Like shame is the lowest, anger, fear, hate, those are operating below 200. And if you're below 200, that's when you're taking energy. Where Jesus, Krishna, and the Buddha, they reach 1,000. So that's the goal. So whenever I make a decision or whenever I'm interacting with people or eating food, I'm like, does this raise my vibe or lower my vibe? And if it lowers my vibe, I don't do that because I think everyone has two purposes. I think everyone's inner purpose is to raise their own level of consciousness. So climb up that scale. And I think everyone's outer purpose is to use your natural gifts to help other people raise up that scale. So that's just the base of what I do in working. So whenever I do something, it's usually a high vibe and then people can pick up on that. Like, for example, like paintings have a vibrational scale too. So if you look at a beautiful piece of painting, like, why does this make me feel good? It's because it's higher up on the scale versus if you look at a copy of that, you don't really feel anything. So the high vibeness is deployed into the technology, which helps people like it more subconsciously. And this is good because they're both ecosystem-based projects that rely on the support of their users and the clients.
Definitely. And as you're involved in the world of Web3 and AI, that's fast-paced and too much demanding. And on the other hand, you are also very vocal about the decentralization of power and control, promoting the democratization of access and opportunity in the digital world. So how do you maintain spiritual groundedness while navigating the high pressure environment of digital entrepreneurship?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't view it as pressure too. Like it's just something I would naturally do. And it goes back to the original ethos of following your natural gifts. So if you're doing what you're naturally good at, you don't really feel that pressure. Like, for example, if Kobe Bryant were to talk about basketball, I'm sure he doesn't feel too much pressure playing basketball because that's just his natural gift. So the same thing applies to what I do with my work. And because I'm in a relaxed state, that kind of let's be at a naturally high vibe, which naturally helps other people. Because like if you're doing something that you're not naturally meant to do, this
Yeah.
creates inner conflict, and then it shows up in your work. So it's just like it's not like I try to do anything different. Just like it's just what I do.
Great, great. So, for those who are looking to start their own businesses, Eric, whether it's freelancing or solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, how can they cultivate a spiritual foundation to stay mindful and grounded while on the path, or for pursuing success?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And again, it always goes back to the decision. So, like, if you are starting a business or creating like an entrepreneurship venture, the two rules I like to follow, again, because karma 100% exists, is don't hurt anyone and don't take anything away from anyone, and you should be good. So, whenever you are starting your business, just keep those in mind, because if you don't follow those, karma will come back to bite you. And regarding starting like a spiritual practice,
Mm-hmm.
it's really up to you. Like it's hard to do if you don't see the benefits in this. So, but it's also something you have to consistently do. Like if you go to the gym one time a month, it's kind of pointless. I mean, I guess it's better than zero. But if you go to the gym every day, that's when you see consistent results. So, in terms of meditation, the name of the game is consistency. It's hard to start at first because when you first start meditating, you're like, why is this happening? Why am I doing this? It seems kind of pointless. So a
Mm-hmm.
trick I like to do is and then your mind's going to come up with excuses like, oh, I have to check my email. I have to get a water. I have to go to the bathroom. And then that's going to try to kick you out of it. So when I first started, I would treat my body like an animal, like a dog, where it's like, you're going to sit here for 5 minutes. Nothing's going to go wrong in 5 minutes. You're going to sit here and then it's going to get done. So that's how I started. And then again, if you think of meditation like an email inbox, if you don't open your email inbox for like 20 years, you're going to have a bunch of emails and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be overwhelming. So the same applies to meditation, your thoughts. Like if you haven't meditated before, you just have a bunch of thoughts that come up. But just
Yeah.
like as you address more emails on your inbox, it gets clearer and clearer, it gets easier and easier to deal with. That's what happens once you meditate on a consistent basis. And then the meditation itself gets easier. So just starting is very important, and committing to starting is important. If you're looking for tricks, I would recommend binaural beats to beginner too, just because what that is, it's two different frequencies in your headphones, and it forces your brain to specific frequencies. So it makes meditation or jumping into that meditative state
Mm-hmm.
much easier. And on top of that, guided meditations work pretty well, just because I guess it's easier to have someone guide you through a process than just doing it yourself. But the real work I think is done in the straight silence of Vipassana meditation, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's a great analogy, Eric. And before we wrap up, as a leader in the tech industry, how do you incorporate spiritual values like compassion, uh, mindfulness, of course, and authenticity into your leadership style when working with teams and building businesses?
Yes, I would say the key is authenticity. And for example, in my particular case, as authentic in a podcast, we became friends because we were both authentic, like
Yes.
the AI thing. And now that became a company. So now we're both authentic. We're both doing the same things. And then
Mm-hmm.
what that did is it attracted other people who are authentic who are into the same thing as we are. And then that's why the company is successful, because like when you're hiring people, if you're not authentic, they're not performing their best work. So you have to offer space to offer that authenticity. And because we're spiritual, because we're authentic, it encourages other people to do so. And that just generates good success. Like with that specific company, someone authentically created a reel that went viral. It has like 50 million or 30 million views. And that just doesn't happen without a paid program, but it happened because the person creating the reel, she's like, oh, this is funny to me. This is funny to my group of friends. Let's see if we can spin it for the company. And she did. She did it without having worry that someone's going to like reprimand her. She's like, no, just do it. And then it worked out pretty well. So yeah, it's all kind of baked in.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely, Eric. That was really a very lovely and informative conversation. And if our listeners want to connect with you maybe and explore about Web3, AI, and also about your ventures like ShopX and Dating, or dive deeper into your spiritual practices, how they can do that.
Yeah, so if you're interested in ShopX, the best place will be our website, shopx.co. If you're interested in dating, dataing.io. If you want to connect with me personally, my Instagram is Eric D. McHugh. And if you want to check out the Vipassana meditation, just Google Vipassana meditation. It's a free practice. There's centers all over the world. I think everyone should do it. So that's I would recommend checking that out. That's a great start. And then once you go down that process, like the right sort of content and people will just reveal itself to you. So you don't have to worry about finding the right content. It's more so just show up.
Great. We'll have all the links in the show notes mentioned for our listeners. And Eric, thank you once again for sharing your incredible insights into the intersection of spirituality and entrepreneurship and your journey of combining Web3 innovation with mindfulness. It is truly, truly inspiring, unique, and it's clear that your spiritual foundation plays a significant role in your success. So thank you for coming.
Well, no, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
And for our listeners, if you want to learn more about Eric's ventures like ShopX and Dating or explore about Vipassana and his other spiritual practices, you can refer the links in the show notes along with this episode on your favorite podcast platform. And I would like to add that integrating mindfulness into your journey of entrepreneurship can lead to greater clarity, balance, and success. And thanks to all of you for tuning into this episode of the Mindful Living podcast. And until next time, stay mindful and keep striving for balance in all areas of life.